My name is Géraud Moussarie. I'm Managing Director of Sustainable Partnerships, and I'm delighted to moderate this first panel today on Algeria investment priorities. So please join me in giving a warm welcome to our esteemed guest, whom I will briefly introduce. But Mr. Ferhat Honouri, I will start with Ferhat, Ferhat has held executive positions in Sonatrach, including Internal Audit Director, Director of Operations, of Financial Operations, Central Director of Markets and Logistics, Central Director of Subsidiaries and Holdings, advising the CEO and managing key projects. Since 2023, he serves as Executive Vice President of Business Development and Marketing at Sonatrach. Thank you very much for joining us, Ferhat.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Massimiliano Mignacca, Managing Director of AMAT Global Resources in the Republic of Congo. Massimiliano has 25 years of experience in downstream and logistics, and after working in the MOL Group in Hungary, he became CEO of Sodeco, part of the Ludoil Group in Italy. In 2022, he took charge of AMAT Group Resources in Congo, in the Republic of Congo, overseeing 2 exploration permits and 1 producing license. Great to have you, Massimiliano.
Thank you.
Mr. Khaled Saidi, who is Managing Director for SLB for the North Africa region. Khaled has 25 years of experience in the oil and gas industry in various leadership roles in operational management, sales, and marketing. He's currently the Managing Director of SLB North Africa, and his career span over Africa, Europe, Middle East, Asia, Latin America, where he has fostered multicultural collaborations and innovation. Privileged to be with you, sir. And Mr. Cédric Sanens, who is my General Manager for Emerson Africa, and for the last 25 years has overseen operations across multiple countries and industries. Cédric was born in the DRC, actually. He spent most of his career in Asia, but he strongly identifies with Africa. While highly technical, Cédric has a passion for simplifying complex topics, in particular how automation can enhance energy potential. Warm welcome, Cédric.
Thank you.
And finally, Mr. Samir Berti, who's president of Al-Naft. He chairs the regulatory arm of the hydrocarbon industry in Algeria. Samir has 24 years of experience in the oil and gas industry and has actively contributed to developing Algeria oil and gas regulations. He has also set up some of the most important oil and gas contracts. Samir recently chaired the Algeria Bid Round Committee that successfully awarded 5 blocks out of 6. Thank you very much for joining us, Samir.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Please give our panelists a show of appreciation.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Algeria boasts some of the richest oil and gas resources in Africa. It is the largest natural gas producer on the continent, and it ranks among the top 10 worldwide in proven natural gas reserves. Algeria is also one of Africa's top oil-producing nations. Its proximity to the European market is a strategic advantage, facilitated by gas pipelines, energy production, and a vast and experienced downstream industry. It also has an amazing renewable potential. Despite these clear advantages, Algeria faces market challenges, and it has been proactively addressing them through regulatory reforms and incentives. So today's panel will highlight exciting opportunities for existing and prospective investors. So let me start with you, Ferhat. Maybe we can talk a bit about how competitive is Algeria's investment landscape. What would you say are the competitive challenges and opportunities within the energy industry in Algeria these days?
Thank you, Géraud. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. In fact, part of the answer is already in the question. I mean, how to transform challenges into opportunities, as we can see later in my answers. Algeria, in fact, cannot remain outside the complex global geopolitical context marked by major changes and high tensions, in which it must face multiple challenges: political, economic, environmental, social, technical, and other issues. On the contrary, its unique geographical position and its historical role as a reliable supplier of hydrocarbons, gas especially, accentuate these challenges, but perfectly illustrate its role as key player in the energy scene. As Algeria's national oil and gas company, Sonatrach, one of the major NOCs in the world, is adjusting its strategy to meet with some of the said challenges, as to deal with the European Corporate Sustainability Due Diligence Directive, which entered into force in 2024, considering that Europe is Sonatrach's main market. To satisfy both the constantly growing demand of energy in the local market and the strong demand for gas, particularly from Central Europe countries. And take into account the dominant position of the USA and Qatar as suppliers of LNG, especially to Europe. However, as mentioned in the beginning, we are to transport these challenges into opportunities by highlighting the huge resources potential of the country. Algeria's main unconventional resource is its vast potential for shale gas, ranking as the third largest globally with a large portion considered technically recoverable. Our geographical position, facilities, networks, expertise, and our long experience in partnerships, our human resources are our key success factors. They are the driving force behind our roadmap supporting our strengths.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ferhat. Clearly, massive potential, but I'd like to have now Massimiliano's point of view as an independent oil and gas company. What is your perspective in the LNG landscape in Algeria? Where do you perceive Algeria's competitiveness for an independent oil and gas player?
Yes, thank you very much, Géraud. First of all, let me tell you that it's a great pleasure to talk about one of the most friendly and commercial relationship partner of my country, that is Italy. I'm at the branch company, upstream company of our Italian group, Ludoil, is investing in Africa, currently in the Republic of Congo, managing 2 permits of exploration and production with the 12 platform offshore of 70 kilometers from the coast of Congo. These are mature fields. Our experience is to explore and to exploit and to revitalizing the mature field that, in our opinion, are strategic resources for the target production of the country. What we found, what we did with the Algerian authorities, with our partner Sonatrach in Italy, and what we present our project, our proposal to the authority, to Al-Naft, is to give our contribution in terms of management this kind of asset, and we believe that Algeria, that is a strategic partner for Italy, mainly since 2022, where we increased our relation in terms of supply of gas, in terms of commercial agreement in general. We see that there are a lot of opportunity. There are a lot of mutual agreement between private and public authority, and this is the key in the attracting new company to invest in a country. For this reason, we are impatient to make our proposal and to propose our project and our management system to start our activity in Algeria.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Massimiliano. Maybe, Samir, turning to you and Al-Naft. So we hear the challenges Ferhat has been sharing with us, and independent oil and gas company like Massimiliano Amat, wanting to come in. But the ALNAF is structuring all this piece through a roadmap. Could you tell us a little bit more about Algeria's investors' roadmap and how the current regulations make Algeria a very attractive place to invest?
Okay, thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So, Algeria is a key player in the global energy market with one of the most significant reserves in the region. So we are producing oil and gas. I'm talking only about oil and gas because ALNAF is involved only in the upstream. So I said that we are producing since decades, but our objective, our top priority at ALNAF is to unlock the full potential of those reserves. So we are focusing today on new thematics, on some frontier zone to explore, to increase our reserves and our production. As said by Mr. Honoré, we have huge reserves for the unconventional aspect. So in Algeria, we have over than 700 TCF as unrisked reserves, and we have proved it through some tests, through some studies. And also, we want to develop and to explore our offshore. So we believe and deeply that we have good potential there. And some other thematics like carbonate, like frontier zones. So our top priority is to unlock all this potential. In terms of competitivity, our last bid round, the previous one, 2020, launched in 24, and we have closed it in 25. We have awarded 5 out of 6 perimeter. It was a huge acreages, over than 30,000 square kilometers. And this demonstrates that our legal framework, our fiscal system are attractive. Only in 2025, we have succeeded to sign 8 contracts. So this demonstrates in 1 year, if any country can conclude 8 hydrocarbon contracts with a big amount of commitment, demonstrate the attractivity of our legal framework and the fiscal system. So we are preparing another bid round for the next year. We aim to launch it the last month of Q1, or at the latest will be the first month of Q2. We are preparing new blocks. We are discussing with our partners, and we aim to launch a nomination process to ask the industry about their expectation in Algeria. And for sure, we will propose some new blocks with potential as we have, and our collaborative approach will for sure help us to unlock this new potential.
Thank you very much, Samir. Very exciting to hear the success on your past round and the upcoming round. And the opportunity describes itself. I mean, huge resources, attractive commercial terms, a revised regulatory framework, yet exploration, unconventional play is risky. And this is why I'd like to bring in Cédric to tell us a bit more about how technology can help us de-risk. Cédric, Emerson is an enabler across the whole value chain. Your company is a leader in automation. How can Emerson contribute to further unlock Algeria's energy potential and competitiveness?
Thank you for asking the question, and good morning, everybody. So, Emerson is a pure play into the automation industry. We have driven the digitalization of the automation industry from the analog device to the digitally connected facilities for the last 20 years, as long as we have been in Algeria. So our participation and our collaboration with Sonatrach and affiliates is not new. For us, for Emerson, the objective in Algeria has always been extremely clear. It's supporting the production, optimize the operation cost, and ensure safety and reliability in all what we are doing. So, by now having made the acquisition of AspenTech, we are now able to take the digitalization world to the next level. By having a fully integrated, software enterprise level company really built on unified data fabric. We talk a lot in the last 3 days about what to do with the data that we have and the importance of having unified data fabric. Now, having this Aspen Tech into our portfolio, customers like the Sonatrach and affiliates will have access to all their data coming from the intelligent field. They will have access to this data and will be able to use them in a much more faster and efficient way on the enterprise level, so global enterprise Sonatrach level entity, but having access to the data from the edge through application in the cloud. And that is the future of automation. That is what we call in Emerson the boundless automation. And we are happy to work together with Sonatrach in trying to understand how we can implement this technology across the country. Very exciting for us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Cedric. Fascinating how new technology can change the game in terms of de-risking new play. Thank you. Khaled, coming to you now. SLB is a key enabler. Very present in North Africa, and obviously, and SLB is a world-class service company. How do you contrast Algeria with the other places where you operate? And how would you say Algeria competes? Where does it compete well? In what fields are there opportunity for service companies to make the biggest difference?
Yeah, thank you, Géraud, and good morning, everyone. But I want to just take a moment to thank the Africa Energy Week for an exceptional organization. So I'll try to summarize what all my colleagues say in the same time, but I'll put them down in three points. So I think Mr. Honoré mentioned on the untapped potential that opens up for technology opportunity. So we all know that Algeria is the biggest country in Africa. It's a vast geography that includes a lot of underexplored or unexplored area, including the offshore as well. So it holds a significant resources. He spoke about the unconventional. It's known for everyone that it's the third worldwide reserve as well that attract a lot of attention. But what I want to mention is that Algeria has a track record when it comes to technology. Yeah? Today, SLB technology used the high end has been tested or developed in Algeria over the last 60 years that we've been there. Yeah? So it has a track record. Now we just need to build on it and plus more innovative solution so that we can overcome or help the country to satisfy the domestic and the international market demand. So one more point is that the proximity that Mr. Honoré as well mentioned, being proximity to Europe, it can be a long-term strategic for the supply, especially in the gas. The second point I want to put is the strong human capital and the development of potential. Today, Algeria has more than 100 universities and colleges, so they produce qualified people. They had specialized university in oil and gas as well. So it makes recruiting easy as well, access to this capital. Now, the challenge is maintaining them because there is competition as well from neighborhood and all worldwide that can access to that talent. Our part as SLB is to accelerate the competency of these people and make them competent for this flagship project. Yeah? The third point I want to mention as well on the challenge is the logistical part. Today, for example, a discovery, an exploration well discovery in southwest is about 1,500 kilometers far from the supply or a fully maintained base. So it is very important that we include automation, digital solution, optimize the well design, and that's where we come in to help reduce a bit the burden of the logistics. So if I want to summarize it just in a quick note, the oil and gas sector stands as a crossroad of significant opportunities and unique challenges. So by leveraging our abundant resources, skilled workforce, and the adoption of advanced technology, the country can unlock those resources.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Khaled. Very compelling. I mean, we get a clear picture with this first final question around the large opportunity there is, but also now the knowledge about the risk, which certainly, maybe a decade ago we didn't have with new tools, new automation, the track record that some service companies can bring. So the next theme of question would be then, how do we go about creating value together? And the first question would be for you, Ferhat, going back to the beginning. In your view, what are some of the most promising opportunities in Algeria for mutual value creation? Where do you see these mutual value opportunities at the moment in Algeria?
Development of carbonate reservoirs, implementation of enhanced oil recovery techniques with the aim of optimizing production and improving final recovery factors, unlocking the unconventional resources, development of new energies, reducing greenhouse gas emissions are some of the most promising opportunities for mutual value creation within the energy industry in Algeria. Let's focus on the development of unconventional resources, the success of which depends essentially on operational efficiency, in which logistics plays a decisive role, as already mentioned by Khalid. Logistics is very important. Currently, a large part of the equipment and services that are part of these logistics are imported. And since cost control is a key element in the success of the unconventional resources development program, it is essential to manufacture this equipment and provide these services locally. What does it mean? It means that there is a large space for investing and collaborating in this area, which seems to be accessory comparing to other main hydrocarbons activities like drilling, cementing, fracking. But it is not the case. The new ecosystem to put in place, which is necessary to unlock unconventional resources, involves enormous logistical needs: sand, water, massive truck fleet, a huge number of various petroleum equipment, spare parts, catering, etc. To meet as many of these needs as possible locally, Sonatrach is in a large and intensive discussions with several companies interested to collaborate, with the priority to give for creation of joint ventures covering all these logistics needs.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ferhat. And quite staggering needs as you step into new places and conventional carbonates. I'd like to turn back to Samir and have your perspective of Al-Naft on what is the potential you see for mutual value creation. Does that align with what your colleague from Sonatrach is sharing with us?
Yeah, sure. We are totally aligned on this. So, Sonatrach is our national oil company, and the mutual value that we want to create is in that fields that Ferhat mentions. But I want to focus on something. Talking about mutual value means that we have to get balanced contract between investors, between regulators, between government, with the government. So the principle of win-win contract for Algeria is not an option. It is a necessity, because we had some bad experiences by the past where the contract was not balanced, and if the contract is not balanced, the project will never succeed. So we are focusing on this, and our hydrocarbon law today offers us this flexibility needed to can reach this balanced contract. So in Algeria, we have 3 hydrocarbon contract types. So before choosing the contract, we discuss with the investor, we review the project, to set the business model which can switch the project or the investment level. Then we decide on the contract type, and when we decide to do it through direct negotiations, so we prefer taking time to discussing everything before get the contract signed. So if we can resolve all the problems before signing the contract, it will be better than to sign and getting to resolve problems. So the flexibility we have today, that we have production sharing agreement, which is based on oil cost recovery and profit sharing. We also have a concession contract, which is tax and royalty, very simple contract. And we also have a risk service contract. This risk service contract needs to calibrate the business model on the needs of the project and on the technology and the know-how will be carried out on this project. So, as said Mr. Farhat, if we talk about increasing the ultimate recovery of our mature fields, we can discuss, we have some partners qualified by Al-Naft as a technology provider and investor operator, like SLB here, represented by Mr. Khalid. So we can define the business model, how to increase the recovery factor, decide how to split the profit, because there will be profit to split. Then we can use this service, risk service contract. So this is just to tell you that we are in, again, a collaborative approach. Creating value is what we aim, but we pay big attention to balanced contract with the win-win principle. Thank you.
Very clear. Thank you so much, Samir. Very pragmatic approach of Al-Naft. Talk to us. We all understand the opportunities. We want to get to the right contracts. So moving back to technology, Cédric, we have the right commercial framework. We have the right opportunities Farhad described for us. Where do you see the mutual value? Can you share some examples of successful technology implementations with big value impact? And
right, I think we can hear.
How can it be relevant for Algeria?
To come back on what we just said, and what you said is a common point in the industry, and I've heard that along the last 3 days we spent across all the conferences here is, cost efficiency, right? So how do we want to improve, to optimize the operation costs, right? And especially here in Algeria, and how to get the quick return from the investment that we are doing in the prolongation of the life set of the assets we have on the field. We hear that in a lot of different countries, companies trying to do that. So, how to get the maximum out of what we have. And I think that is what Emerson's try to help all our partners across the region. Here we are really talking about what I call the predictive maintenance. Extremely important predictive maintenance, improving the STO activities that the company is doing, getting more out of that. And I'm talking here about technology like vibration monitoring on rotating devices. I'm talking about corrosion monitoring. I'm talking about steam strap leak tests that can really save a lot of money to the operation. And the beauty of that is that all this technology are, non-intrusive. There are wireless technology that you can easily implement on existing assets. You can take them, plug them in what you have. All this technology providing a lot of data. And we talk about the data a lot in the last 3 days. So getting this data coming out of these devices, running the data across the software, dedicated software, is giving a real-time information to all the industry about the asset we have. And the technology, I talk about Aspen, but we have different technology also providing solution on how to optimize the cost. The question was how to get quick return on investment of what we are doing, to see it right away, after 3 months, after 4 months into the implementation of the field. That is what we try to focus on with Emerson. That is really, and we are working in collaboration with with Sonatrach and affiliates to get it done.
Thank you, Cedric. And we might need also a technology solution to manage the noise next door. I don't know if Emerson can do that, but if you can, guys, we'll take it now. Thank you so much, Cedric. Maybe moving to you, Khaled, in terms of SLB and service companies, what key value creation trends do you see for service company in Algeria? How is this reflected in the landscape? And we might need just to pick up a little bit of pace as we progress in this panel.
No, I'll try to go fast, but I'll have to compete with the neighbor country in the continent.
Please do.
Speak louder.
All right, so if I summarize it in 3 points, I think you mentioned as well some of the digital transformation to modernize the operation and administration as well, yeah, so that through a high-performing connectivity and the cloud infrastructure, we can enable efficiency. So this is one important one. We want to streamline the workflow, actually. So the second one, of course, the AI and the machine learning. Definitely, it's something that in SLB we are quite advanced. We provide solutions so that we can accelerate processes, you know, when it comes to model screening. So we can screen hundreds of shut-in wells, for example, in a couple of weeks, what used to be in a month. On machine learning, we do on the reprocess of the seismic data, for example, so that we can identify overlooked prospect in the past. So this is some solution. But as well, we do, like Mr. Farhat mentioned, on enhanced field recovery as well. Recently, we acquired ChampionX so that we can provide some chemistry solution that can be done downhole on the treatment to reduce, for example, the water flow and make sure that we use the reservoir to its best. So, but if I want to summarize, which I'm trying to accelerate, is through integrated digitalization, AI, and advanced production technology so that we can transform the sector of oil and gas. Yeah? We deliver faster, data-driven decision, and unlocking new opportunities that can help amazing returns and reduce the cost, of course, at the end, what we want to reach as well.
That's great. Thanks very much, Khaled. Very insightful. Massimiliano, I'd like to finish this round question on mutual value with you. How does AMAT Global Resources approach mutual value creation where you work?
Well, I think that the only way in order to create value that is the target in terms of cooperation between private company and the public company in this context is the transparency and to find the agreement with the partner. In this case, I can mention the example of what we are doing with the Société Nationale du Pétrole du Congo, that is our partner in Congo, sharing project, sharing our initiative, take advantage of the experience, long-term experience of the skilled capacity that are present on the country, and to go quickly to take decision. This is the characteristic that we have. This is the characteristic that probably in some particular context, like the mature field, need to be improved. I think that we have this characteristic. I can tell that in terms of project and innovation, I can tell that we are working with the company of these two guys, with Schlumberger, in the workover campaigns that we are going to start in the month of October. We will do 70 workover in the first phase, and we are working with them with the slickline equipment. With Emerson, we are working on the flow meter counting. So to find the single project, to have quick decision in order to create value and to respect the engagement that we propose to the authority. They give trust to the company that are coming to their country.
Thank you, Massimiliano. As you talk, it looks like you're already building the team.
Yeah.
So that's a great segue into your next round of question around collaboration.
Yeah.
And maybe starting with you, Samir, for Al Naft. What is the strategy that you have for investors in terms of collaboration? In what way can a regulator encourage additional collaboration?
Yeah, thank you. So as I said, we have this collaborative and pragmatic approach, and there is multiple options. I've talked about hydrocarbon contract, but before deciding on the contract, there is a big collaboration on this. Al-Naft is proposing today to investors to approach Al-Naft and to tell us what are their expectations in Algeria, or which kind of project they would like to explore or develop. And in Algeria, as we manage the national database, data repository, we can propose a basket of projects to investors so they can adjust their expectation, they can tell us more, or they can choose one or more than one project from what we propose to them. Then we can move to the step of where we just sign an NDA, we can provide data, there is no payment, we provide data, so they run the study on the basis of a workflow agreed between us. Then they have, after that, the opportunity to propose a program to decide to invest or not. So when they achieve this result and they want to discuss a hydrocarbon contract, at that time we decide on the contract, that type of contract. So this is really a pragmatic and collaborative approach. And also we are offering and we are talking about the potential we have, and I want to mention the unconventional resources. I said that we have over than 700 TCF unrisked reserves. So this is, we have this amount of reserves after the study done with the basic front lab, but this study was not supervised by Al-Naft only. So to give it the credibility that we want, this study was supervised jointly with Sonatrach, and we have involved international companies like ExxonMobil, like Total Energies, Eni, Shell, and other companies. I think it was 6 or 8 companies who supervised with us this study. So we give it more credibility. When I said 700 TCF, means that this number was shared by and supervised and agreed by all those companies. So this is our collaborative approach, and we are open to collaborate on any opportunity that any investor identified.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Samir. It looks indeed a very constructive and flexible approach to investors. And I also noted no payment for data.
No payment for data,
So
yeah.
well noted, and we've got the data experts on the other hand, so brilliant. Maybe in the interest of time, just speeding up a little bit on the last theme, Khaled, may I come to you and ask you, in the experience of SLB, what is key for effective collaboration between service companies and operators in Algeria?
Yeah, thank you. I'll chip in as well on what Samir just mentioned. So effective collaboration, and we talk between operators, service company, and regulator, it's very important if we want to progress and achieve surpassing stakeholders' objectives. So, but for that, we require open communication. He just mentioned it. We need organizational and procedural agility, and then a win-win mindset. So these are kind of a very important principle. Now, if I may give just an example on collaboration, there is a project that we worked out between Al-Naft and SLB and gave a birth to Exalt. It was a true example of how collaboration can give data more quality and easy decision. So this was an example. So if I want to summarize, in a true culture of collaboration, it's transparent communication, which I mentioned, agile practice, and shared benefits. It is vital for tackling complex challenges. Those principles are key if you want to unlock great efficiency that we're talking about.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Khaled. Very, very clear. Massimiliano, going back to Amat Resources, how can partnerships between local independent companies international investors and government entities be further optimized in your experience? Maybe just in a few words, if you could summarize for us.
Yes, I think that I can add what I was mentioned before in terms of necessity of transparency and continuous dialogue and sharing project, and willing to take decision extremely quickly, because this is the only way to take additional value by the project that on intend to implement and in order to respect the engagement. I would say that based on the experience that we have in Congo, there are something that we push on some aspect with the authority. The transparency is there, but it would need support. There are some constraints in terms of how can I say? In terms of managing and giving the possibility to go quickly, more quickly, and to have the possibility to work with some partner. For example, under the financial point of view and the relation, we are talking about this, no? The relationship with the bank, for it's very, very difficult to make payment outside of the country, and this is a constraint that we are touching. I am giving you an example. Probably this is not an issue, but if what is the rule of the public is to provide the tools and the instrument to the investor and to the operator to put in the condition to keep and to achieve the target that are sharing target. This is the key point in terms of cooperation, I think.
Great, thank you. Get it. Thank you, Massimiliano. Pace is going to be really key to support collaboration. Maybe Cédric, just a word on your perspective from Emerson.
Yeah, with the time remaining there, I think that when we talk about collaboration between the public sector and the private sector, I truly believe that in Algeria, like in many other countries, the most important point is really the workforce development. The enhancing of the workforce. We have all the incentives that are going around with the company, the graduated program activities that we are doing with the universities in the country, bring the university, bring the young people into the organization. And linked to that, it's bring the acceptation of digitalization in a much faster way. So, we talk a lot about digitalization across the last 3 days. Everybody talks about digitalization. And we have to give the right incentive with the government, with the universities, with Emerson, with Sonatrach, with everybody there on how to bring digitalization faster, educate our people to do that. And last but not least, I would say that, for the last 3 days, we talk about drill, baby, drill. And I think that in Algeria, it's also extremely important that we talk about renewables and that we do not forget about renewables, especially on the solar panel, especially on all the energy out of the solar. And there's a lot of discussion going on in Algeria around the same. Extremely important also in the diversity of the energy that we have across the region.
Thank you, Cédric. And perhaps Ferhat, maybe going back to Sonatrach, and briefly, if we could have your perspective on how can we further enhance collaboration with existing operators.
Thank you. Currently, Sonatrach operates through 17 joint operating entities with leading international oil companies such as Eni, Total Energy, Equinor, Sinopec, Repsol, etc. and other, while the production of oil and gas with partners is around only 20% of global production. The other 80% is operated by Sonatrach's own efforts. New contracts has been recently signed with some of these partners and other new partners in conclusion of the Algeria bid round, as mentioned by Mr. Bakhti, launched by ANAFT a few months ago. Other new contracts has been signed, while other are to be signed in the coming days in the framework of direct negotiations between Sonatrach and oil and gas companies, including majors, as it is allowed by the ongoing hydrocarbon law referenced 1913. So in this contract we signed and we are signing with these companies, there are several provisions included regarding the technology transfer and the know-how transfer. But even though we have these provisions, we are facing a dilemma. As Sonatrach has lost and is still losing considerable numbers of experienced employees, well trained by Sonatrach, especially engineers in upstream, as they are attracted by high salaries. They are offered by especially companies in the Middle East, but also in the USA and in Europe. To face this dilemma, we adopted a solution, an aggressive turnover, and a continuous process of high-level training we assure through our specialized institute, ERP, and our specialized Academy of Management. These are our solutions. And beyond all what I just mentioned, we are currently in negotiation to strengthen our partnership, including majors, especially to unlock the unconventional resources.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ferhat. We're almost short of time. If I may ask maybe Samir to wrap up for us and share a final word on what you're taking away as Al-Naft from this panel.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me close this panel, business panel. So, just to wrap up, Algeria is land of opportunities, and we are well prepared to be innovative, collaborative, and pragmatic. So I address directly investors through this nice audience, through the media are here. Please come to Algeria. Come. We are ready to show you the potential we have, and keep in mind that we are unlocking the full potential we have. So this is the right period. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Please show a big sign of appreciation for our panel.